Hey everybody, this is Crystal from Elite Hair Care. So today this is a quick tutorial where we are going to talk about coloring relaxed hair. So my client got a relaxer about 2 weeks ago. We have been coloring her hair for almost 4 years now. We've done different colors. We've done red, we've done green, blue, purple, any color you can think of, we've done it. But today we decided that we wanted to go, well, I decided that I want her to go red. And she said okay, right? Say okay. Anywho, so for the color today, I'm using Joico semi-permanent color. Remind yourself that she has a relaxer. So with relaxer, while it's okay to do demi-permanent and permanent colors at a certain level, I typically tend to lean towards semi-permanent colors, but I did lighten her slightly using a 10 volume and Pravana Pure Light Ultra Light lightener, just because I wanted to lift her slightly. I only brought her up to about a level 5 and 6. If you notice, she has different levels in different places. Reason being is the relaxed hair is highly porous and it's going to lift uneven, and it's up to you to either fix that or use that to your advantage. So I am going to use that to my advantage today when I'm applying my color. So we'll have what we call a highlight and a low light of red. So I'm using their ruby color. It's already in the bowl, but here's the thing. Whenever you're doing semi-permanent colors, you always want to start with slightly damp or dry hair. The color adheres better. It's better for longevity. And then on top of that, you don't want to have what we call hollow spots or cheetah spots. So I'm going to slightly dry her crown, which is exactly where I lifted earlier today. Can you tilt back for me? So I lifted this area earlier today, if you see the different highlights there. And that's what I'm going to blow dry, just to kind of take a little bit of the moisture out. Okay, so we've gotten about 60 to 70% of the moisture out of the pre-lightened hair. So we'll go ahead and start applying our color. Now, because I did it in the crown, you can go through and be very precise if you choose by parting it out and only doing the actual hair that was pre-lifted, but I'm gonna actually do the entire crown because I want it to give a contrast, and I want this area to kind of overshadow her darker colored hair, which we did do her roots as well using a level 1 Pravana Chroma Silk color and 0 lift. That was to cover her grays, so that is considered a demi-permanent or demi-like color. And then from there, we're gonna go through and put our red. So this is our color here. You wanna just make sure that you fully saturate each strand that you're putting the color on. And remember, the hair is dry, so you have to work a little bit harder only because the hair is dry, and it will take a lot more product. So what I like to do is my brush strokes going back and forth. That helps me distribute the color throughout the entirety of that strand. All right, so we're gonna go through and do the next one. Now, color care. A lot of people ask me, how do you take care of colored hair? Well, my client comes to the salon every 2 weeks, like clockwork, so I see her on a regular schedule. But if you are doing at-home care, thank you so much. If you're doing at-home care, you wanna make sure that you get a color-safe, sulfate-free shampoo and conditioner. Thanks, Rocky. Color-safe shampoo and conditioner. You wanna make sure that you are also taking care of the scalp. With hair health, scalp health is also very important. When I say take care of your scalp, make sure that you are moisturizing the scalp, because keep in mind, whenever you are trying to take care of the hair, it starts at the scalp level. So you need to nourish the bulb that hair comes from. It's no different from a seed in the ground. It's no different from fertilizing your grass. You are doing the exact same thing with your hair. You are fertilizing the actual ground that the hair is growing from. And once you fertilize and take care of that area, it would do just the same with the actual strand. So that's the reason why I always make sure that I tell my clients to make sure they're using good products in regards to take home or at home care. And then make sure that you see your stylist, if not every 2 weeks. You want to try to get into a stylist at least once a month. And if you're natural, you definitely need to be seeing your stylist at least once every 6 to 12 weeks. Because I know sometimes with natural care, you can do a lot of that at home. But you still need to be going to your stylist for an evaluation, consultation, treatments, that kind of thing. And a trim. Very important. All right, so we're almost done applying our color. And then she's actually going to process for 20 minutes open air. They do have a pro tip that you can use. If you want the color to really deposit into the cuticle, you can put them under the dryer for 15 minutes. I don't always recommend the dryer with what we call fashion colors, because those colors can actually become permanent. You'll be actually opening the cuticle and that color will fall in and you can't get it out. So that's the reason why I always process open air with my semi-permanent colors. Now, do semi-permanent colors cover gray? Some are created to do so. Most of the time they do not. They're typically created to blend gray and not cover gray. So that is the reason why you'd actually do what we call a demi-permanent color, because it slightly raises the cuticle and deposits that color in, and typically grays are the most stubborn. For demi colors, I don't recommend you do those at home because they do require an activator or a developer, and that's not something that I think should be done at home. All right, so my client is going to sit and process for 20 minutes open air. You can put a processing cap on here if you choose. Some people do, some don't. I do not use foil whenever I'm doing semi-permanent colors. If this is something where you want to differentiate your colors, maybe you're doing different tones, you can use what we call meshes, or you can use plastic wrap. It has to be a biodegradable plastic wrap. That is the best type to use. I think Fermar actually carries that particular brand. But outside of that, she will process just like this for 20 minutes. I'll come back and we'll do her style and we'll talk some more about color care and relaxed hair. So I'll see you guys in a few minutes. All right, guys, so we are back. Our client has finished processing. She's been dried and now she has her color going on. So if you notice, in the front it's a little more intense and in the back it's a little more mute. But the thing is, whenever she pulls her hair in different places, that is when the color will pop out. So that is the difference when you're doing crown highlights, that kind of thing, because you're able to accentuate where you need to accentuate and then take the eye away from where you need to take the eye away. So what we're gonna do is we're going to finish out her blow dry because she still is a little damp, and then we're gonna actually do a little cut on her, and then we will do her style. Don't forget, during the blow dry phase, ensure that you are utilizing the proper brush. I use a paddle brush. That is my go-to, but of course you can use whatever brush you are comfortable with. She's now blow dried, so she wants to get a little more of an inverted bob. So what we're gonna do is silk her slightly. Right here feels a little bit wet. Alright, so what we're gonna do is put about 2 pea-sized drops of our First Tamer and Shine Serum. This is gonna serve as our heat protectant as well as adding some shine, helping to seal that cuticle and just give it a really good luster, but also protect the hair while we're doing our thermal styling. So you guys know, whenever we're doing a preliminary silk or silk out or whatever the case may be, you want to just take big sections. This is not the part where we're styling her. We're utilizing this just to get the hair straight enough so we can see our cut. This is the reason why I tell people do not trim curly hair, because you cannot see your actual cut. There's no way for you to know what you cut right, what you cut wrong, that kind of thing. So I'm taking like 2-inch partings to do this part. Almost done. Vanessa's been coming to me for a couple years now. We've grown her hair, we've cut her hair, we've grown it back, we've cut it again, and her hair typically gets to this length, and this is where we always say, okay, it's boring, let's give her a haircut. Now, care and styling products I always recommend for clients who have, I'd say 60% or more of color in their hair, meaning you've pre-lightened an area or something of that sort. You want to make sure that you're using a sulfate-free, color-safe shampoo. What happens is if you use regular shampoo depletes the life of the color, and it can also make the hair extremely dry. Color safe shampoos are typically moisture enhancing shampoos at the same time, but they are there to keep give longevity to that actual color. So for her, if she has red hair, if it was about 60% or more, then she would use a red colored shampoo. In this case, she doesn't have to, but she still needs to use a sulfate free shampoo. But I see her anyway, so I do all her stuff. Alright, so we just took the last piece. We're going to go ahead and give her a quick cut and then style her, and she will be on her way out the door. So we're going to use our cutting comb and our shears. At this point, I'm going to use my cutting vest so I can get an even playing ground instead of utilizing the cape. Sorry, Mama. Now, of course, the cutting vest doesn't actually touch or meet with her hair, but the reason for the cutting vest is so you can see exactly what you're doing. It gives you better vision when you're doing your haircut. Alright, so we're going to use our clippers. As you know, I like to work smarter and not harder. Such. Now, if you're not comfortable with the clippers, you can always use your shears. I actually love my clippers for stuff like this. It's a great way to start your guide. Just like that. And then we're gonna cut some layers. With the layers, we're gonna do what we call notching. But you don't want it to be too wide, so just make sure that you, of course, follow your guide, even though you're notching. And then remember, the head is the shape of an orange. It's not a square, so you are going to cut it in slices. If you cut the head like it was a square, you're going to make it very bulky and boxy. So this is the reason why if you follow the format of an orange, as if you were peeling an orange, her layers will come out and it'll be a little softer with more movement. At this point, you can remove the cutting cape if you choose. You do not have to. And remember, for the front, you want to keep the length. So what I'm doing is I'm over directing the hair so I can keep her length but still give her some layers. And then we're going to frame the face by doing what we call slicing. You don't have to slice if you don't want to, but I feel like when you're doing the face, you do need to frame the face. So you're going to go with the face shape. And then we'll finish out on this side, and then we will be done with our cut. All right, so we're done with our cut. We're gonna go ahead and give her a quick style. So you guys sit back and relax. Watch this. So for styling tools, of course, don't forget to utilize your Goddess Frizz Tamer and Shine Serum. My client, this client's been coming to me for almost 4 years. She has been utilizing all of my hair repair products for quite some time, and I can tell you her hair is extremely full. She utilizes her Goddess Hair Repair Serum 1 time per week just to keep her hair and her scalp hydrated. Outside of that, I see her every 2 weeks. So make sure that you are on a regimen with a stylist and get yourself some Goddess Drop. Okay guys, so we just finished curling her hair. We're gonna spray a little bit of our gloss. Okay, and then you're gonna use your wide tooth comb. For this particular comb out, I am going to use more my rake versus the comb. Get those highlights popping out. Yes, hair looks amazing. Who said you cannot have healthy hair with color and be relaxed? If you go to the right place, if your stylist knows what they're doing and they care that much about your hair, they can definitely take good care of it. All right. So the last step here is we're going to put a little bit of our CBD infused edge tamer on her hairline. So we haven't soaked her hairline out on purpose. I'm going to bring you guys nice and close. So we have our edge tamer and our edge brush. I'm going to take a little bit of the tamer here. It's about that much. I'm just going to dab it on her hairline. Okay, just a little. And then we'll take our edge brush and just brush it in. Hairline is masked, it's holding. And don't forget that our CBD infused edge tamer also is a edge tamer that grows the hairline, strengthens the hairline. It is infused with CBD. So it also has vitamins A, B, C, E, K, omegas 3, 6, and 9, which are essential for hair growth. Put down for me, my love. Now look at that bob. Shake it for me, Vanessa. Yes, shake. He's laughing. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please do so now. Click that little box down below, turn your notifications on, and give me a thumbs up if this video was of any greatness to you. Don't forget, if you are watching this YouTube video, use code YouTube, YOUTUBE, during checkout for any one of my products on my site, which is EliteHairCareUSA.com. The link is down in the bio, and you'll save 15% off your purchase. But I gotta go, guys. See ya.